Warning! The following audio may contain coarse language and other material that may not be suitable for a younger audience. Listener discretion is advised. Also, we may spoil everything and anything, so you have been warned.
PodTaku,
Jeanne.
PodTaku, and a happy
Jeanne.
taku.
Oh my god.
Mute your mic
What?
and never speak again.
Do you know what? She knows depressing. She knows depressing, Tristan.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
No, what's more depressing than that
Jack
this is going to be the
Frost
opening to our Christmas
living
episode.
At your
And I don't want.
nose.
I feel sorry for the audience who has to have their ears bleeding at the start of this jolly episode. So why don't you start us off, Holden, before Jeanne opens her mouth again?
Before we ruin it, are we all recording?
Yes.
Yup.
Yes. Okay, that's
I
what
wasn't.
I thought. I was like, Jeanne has yet to say, "I'm recording."
Yeah, so none of that was recorded whatsoever. So, Garn, you
No, it
fucked
wasn't.
up.
So I don't care. So we can go
That's
to our real introduction, which is good.
I'm kidding.
minute,
That was
it's-
recorded,
Jeanne's
but I'm
recorded.
deleting it
It
now.
was recorded.
Don't delete it.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay. Good. Is everyone
On the
recording? then?
first
So
day of
we're
Christmas,
all recording,
Tristan
right?
gave to me.
Shut the fuck up, Jeanne.
Seconded the motion.
Happy holidays, everyone. How's it going? My name's Holden, and I'm here today with my lovely co-host here on PodTaku. First off, we have Garth the
Can I
Grinch.
just say, I just realized something. I was when I said shut the fuck up, Jeanne, I almost said shut the fuck up, Jimmy, just out like a knee jerk reaction.
Out of just pure habit.
I said shut the fuck up, Jeanne. In my that's
Jeanne,
how it was in my head.
yes, Jeanne.
One syllable,
Female.
not two.
Hello everyone. Yes, it's me, Gigguk. I mean Garnt. Gaunt. God, like Holden. The
You
way
can't
you say
even
my
pronounce
name,
your own damn name.
the way
Get out.
Holden says my name has
Garnt,
just
man.
infiltrated my mind.
I know, it's
Garnt.
Garnt, right?
Gaunt?
Because he adds like an E in it.
Garant.
Garant.
Oh, I had Garant, because it's Garant, but I say Garant.
I say Garnt.
There's,
Yes.
he's my brother.
My non-Asian brother. Continue, Holden. Continue. Where
Yeah.
were we?
From another mother.
And with me today, also, we have Jolly Jeanne.
Hi everybody, how are you today? I feel like singing Christmas carols all day.
Is that even a fucking Christmas
Well,
carol?
we're fucked.
And finally, we have Tinsel Tristan.
Tinsel. Okay.
Tinsel. You wore that shit I staple on walls.
You're that shit on the tree
I
that
swear to
falls
God,
to the
one
ground.
time-
Not just for decoration.
Tinsel in college is like is fucking the best.
No.
Because you just,
No.
for instance, last year, right, we had tinsel, and we wrote Merry Xmas Bitch on our wall with it, and it was one of the coolest things I think I've ever constructed. I loved it.
I think Garland's better because then you could just wrap it on yourself, and then you're super cool just by doing
Well,
that. And it
Okay,
stays
so
on.
Jeanne likes bondage, and
so we'd like to welcome you guys to our, if you can't tell, our special Christmas episode for this year. Yes, it is that jolly time of year again where people gather around and we basically wish for shit that we don't really need, and we open boxes.
Yeah.
So, what's everybody's guilty pleasure?
So, basically, when we started this podcast, we knew that we weren't going to top last year's Christmas special because last year's Christmas special was
the
basically
bombshell.
the bombshell, and nothing
It was
can
the
top
bombshell.
that
It
whatsoever.
was it was the most classic PodTaku moment that has ever been. The defining
Right.
moment of PodTaku.
it's
And
one of them, yeah. It was the pivotal moment when PodTaku
I cannot
evolved.
believe it has been a year since that.
To give you guys like a interesting like frame of reference, guys. Okay, get this. Okay, today is December, whatever you're watching this. Okay, but for reference, episode 4, It's Shit, came out December 1st, 2013.
Oh my god.
2012.
What?
I know.
What?
It came out just over a year ago.
Which is really crazy.
Episode 4, It's Shit. Yeah, 2012. It's unbelievable, the passage of time.
Holden, you're
Yeah.
shitting me.
No, dude, I fucking looked on the playlist, and if you look, it says 11 months is the actual Christmas episode, because that was the 28th. And today's Christmas, so it's different, but
that's incredible.
it says 11 months. But dude, this one says a year. It's December 1st, like 2012.
It's great.
Like, that's fucking unbelievable.
Because also in 11 months, we've covered shit, masturbation, burping, farting, and just recently menstruation.
We should probably retire soon, guys. We've run out of things that we can talk about. I think.
No, we're just gonna get into the much more disturbing and the kind of things that we'd get thrown in jail for. That's the only way to go.
Well, we haven't talked about
Ex-disturbed Jeanne.
vomiting, but you
Well,
know.
Jeanne is gonna lead us into it because
I'm
she
sure
is the disturbed one.
I was gonna say, I think it might happen sometime when we just like degenerate.
Okay.
You know what?
Just
For this
vomit.
episode, I want to get a little
Okay.
personal.
Oh,
But
boy.
to preface, anyone who might want an anime podcast, we will talk about anime, but we also want to reflect on the year as well. This is our special. You know, we want to talk about ourselves and the people we have been in this past year. So if you feel like
If you don't want to
dropping out
listen to
because-
that, get out.
Get,
out.
in our own words,
Run.
get the fuck out. But Jeanne,
the
continue
fuck
to
out.
what you were talking about.
Yeah, Jeanne, go ahead.
It's nothing special. It's just we were talking about vomiting, and I wanted to.
wait. You said I'm gonna get what was it, sentimental or personal?
I said
Alright.
personal.
Personally,
I just wanted to. It's more of like an accomplishment of mine, where I feel very powerful because I have not vomited since I was 12 years old. So I thought that was cool that I can't vomit, and I just wanted to let you guys know that.
or maybe the thing is that you've never been in situations where you have to do amazing shit like vomit.
I mean, like the other day at work, a kid puked in front of me 3 times,
Okay.
and that didn't
3
bother
times,
me
okay.
at all.
That's a lucky number.
I don't know. I just think if you see someone puke, that you puke as well. A normal person would at least.
I'm like, ooh, SpaghettiOs. Look at that. Like, let's package that up and fucking sell it.
That's it.
That's the first.
That's
thought,
my
you know,
first
I
thought
see-
is, what did they eat?
Yeah, the first thought is always, what did I eat?
I see an Italian
Dude,
BMT.
The best one is always, I don't remember eating corn. Why is there always corn?
Actually, I'm just okay. So thinking back to during the year, right? To actually bring this to anime, actually
Changing the subject.
changing the subject from vomit. It can only
Subject of change.
it can only
change.
go uphill from here. Okay, changing the subject.
You obviously have not watched PodTaku before, have you, Colin?
Shut up, Kristen. This is the Jolly Christmas episode.
We have our
We have our
lows.
lows and our lowest lows, and then our lower lows.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have our lows, and then we have our lows.
What do you guys think about 2013 as a whole for anime? Like, because, you know, we always have this thing every year where we reflect on, was it a good year for anime? Was it a bad year for anime? Because I think, my personal, like, you all know about my personal, this black hole between 2007 and 2011. I think that's my personal black hole where I thought nothing really good came out.
True.
And then 2011 came out, and that had Steins Gate and Madoka Magica.
And Anohana.
And Anohana.
And Future Diary. And Fate Zero. And it's really fucking big
And
year.
it was just like, fuck me. This is
Fuck.
where the fuck did all this come from? So what do you guys think of about 2013 as a whole for anime?
See,
Okay.
here's the thing, right? As a whole, it definitely has its high points.
Yes, totally.
It has a lot of things. It has a lot of things that are really
Yeah.
different. it has a lot of shows.
A few.
Not a lot, but it's brought us stuff like Attack on Titan, for instance, Evangelion 3.0. It's got a lot of interesting stuff in it. What's really weird about it, though, right, is, you know, when you reflect, especially with anime, and I think we recently realized this when we were working on Little Something Something, but we realized how long a year really is. To put it in perspective, it was like Maoyuu was this year, and I was like,
yeah, no,
that
Wait,
doesn't
Maoyuu
seem
was
right
this
at
year?
all.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Maoyuu was 2013. And when I said that to myself, it was, what? I don't even know. What is clock? I don't. Year. It really
think,
fucked with me
What
because
hits me more?
I have
What
no
hits
idea
me more
why.
is when I find out that something's getting dubbed. Like, for example, Kids on the Slope just got dubbed. Well, a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
And all I
Mhm.
could think was, I
No,
just finished that. Oh, wow.
A
year
long
ago?
time ago.
No, it's like, wow, it was a year
Wow.
ago?
Go back to episode 2 of PodTaku, when we mentioned Adolescence Upon an
Right.
Incline.
Right.
That's how long ago it was.
But it didn't feel like that. I feel like
think
it hits me more that way. I sort of feel like the
No, I
like,
agree.
I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call it like the grandmother effect, I guess. Where I feel like, wow, I feel like I'm really old to this.
Yeah.
I feel very similar to that in some regards because, for instance, Accel World recently was just released
Yeah.
on Funimation. I think.
Yep.
And that fucking hit me, and I was like, I don't even
I
know
know.
what. Fuck. It really messes with you because whenever you watch a show weekly, because it's just your perception of time is just
Out of it, yeah.
all
Yeah.
off. Because in your mind, that series potentially took up like 12
Right.
weeks, and I think that this delves into a much more interesting issue of like time on the internet is really different than time outside of the
Oh,
internet.
no,
Yeah.
definitely. The
Mhm.
internet time moves so fast. A year is like an eternity.
Yes. 9 months for
Yeah.
a hiatus was an eternity. People were like, Holden's dead.
Whoops.
I'm on a 3-month
Yeah.
hiatus right now, and people are like, "Gone? Are you dead?" And I'm just like, "No."
Basically.
Yeah, but basically, in their minds, I'm dead.
And you know, there are some times that I release a video and people are just like, so you're alive? And I'm like, when did I leave?
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
leave?
It's true. I feel like I would respond to those people and be like, you might want to check your YouTube
Conversely,
subscription feed.
there's
It's a bit
been a
fucked
recent time, like after I released my Titan review, there was like a month of no reviews or like anything from me. And then I released my next review after that, and people are just like, wow, I love how frequent your updates are. And I was like, it's been a month. What the hell? It's like backwards. It's weird.
When I drop BRS, people be like, whoa, fuck, Holden, who are you? Who is this person? And why is he so different?
Well, I did have this thing recently where I just realized that I enjoy anime so much better when I marathon it. So much better.
Yeah, I was actually,
Now you understand
What I was
why
gonna
there are
bring up,
some anime
actually,
that I
Gar-
just don't watch in the season. Like
Yes.
why I waited to watch Titan until the end.
No, but
Yeah.
it's this thing where I figured this out recently, and it's the reason
Okay.
that I will always infinitely prefer watching marathoning shows, even though I will continue to watch seasonal shows if it really interests me. But the thing about watch marathoning shows is that
Yeah.
you pick the shows to watch. You pick.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is important is because, you know, you might have watched some anime where you've just been in the mood to watch the anime. And because you're in the mood to watch anime, you enjoy it so much more. We've talked about this. Has been a past PodTaku episode where it's like being in the right mood.
it
The thing
definitely
about
has.
watching seasonal shows is that no matter what mood you're in, you will watch the anime anyway. You know what I mean? Because it's airing and you're keeping up. But when
Right.
you're marathoning shows, you are guaranteed to be in the mood to watch that show because you're marathoning it. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
why I think.
It's, to simplify what you're saying, it's less of an obligation and more of a
Yeah.
desire.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. I think that what befalls me constantly is just tracking things, I just 7 days to remember something that didn't really necessarily leave an impression on me already. It's hard enough to remember it for a week after that thing that just never left an impression on me, really. I think that's a problem with a lot of beginning of the season stuff. It's harder for me because I just don't remember. I never forget, of course, I'm an encyclopedia, but
I feel like it's harder because you start out each season, because like myself, I'm a seasonal watcher, except for this season for some reason I just wasn't really into, but as a seasonal watcher, you tend to filter out after the first couple episodes, but Holden's basically right where you just basically watch everything that you think will be interesting, and after a week, you're remembering like the 5 to 7 shows that you started, and then waiting for the next week to see which one has a bigger impact on you, but then you're trying to filter out each show, and for me at least, every time I do that, I end up forgetting the character, like the names of any of the characters in any of the shows, even though I may remember the plot of the story or how interesting it can be, or how I think the plot is going to go further and better and make me want to continue the rest of the show for the season. You still have to filter out specific shows, and it's very hard to do. So it definitely does feel more like an obligation because you're trying to find what's best for you, instead of just having it out there already and knowing what will be good for you.
I think that it's just infinitely easier to follow just one show rather than following 5 or 6 different shows at the same time.
Well, I think a problem with that, with watching multiple shows, is that you get in this groove. So you start watching like 1 or 2 episodes of one show, and then you just start to get invested in everything. And then if you switch to another show, it's like switching tracks on a train. If that makes sense.
It's really counterintuitive.
Yeah, because then when you go back, you're just like, okay, now I need to remember everything. But if you just watch everything in one go, it's the most recent thing you watched. So it's just kind of there.
Yeah.
The rules of the previous world never apply to the one that you're currently watching, unless it's the exact same show.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's like you have to hop between worlds, and you have to reacquaint yourself with the rules and regulations of said world. And that can be a bit jarring when you're watching 2 polar shows.
Yeah.
You know, for this year so far, overall, I felt it was a bit more disappointing than last year.
Yes, I actually agree. I was about to say, looking back on the year, we had some good shows. We did have some good shows.
Well, guys, this year had the 3 greatest anime ever. We had the ending of Sword Art Online,
right,
we had all of Attack on Titan, and we had the start of Kill la Kill. How could this not be the greatest year ever?
It's anime is saved, guys. Anime is saved. Right. Fuck you, didn't you?
I felt like last year was so much better because it had. I feel like Fate Zero, which was Paramount.
No, that's the thing. The thing about the last 2 years that is different from this year. Okay. I think the thing that was missing this year was that critically acclaimed show. Because I think with the Attack on Titan, the biggest anime of the year, Attack on Titan, I feel like that had more in common with something like Sword Art Online than it did with like Fate Zero or Madoka Magica or Steins Gate, which was the critically acclaimed anime that preceded it, basically, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I feel like the closest thing that we really had was Ami and Yuki Wolf Children.
But did that come out this year?
No, that didn't come out this year though. It didn't.
No,
that's
it
the point.
That's why I'm saying that. But we watched it this year, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it came out this year. But that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as critical acclaim goes, like you guys said, there's almost nothing.
I'm actually thinking about, is there actually any critically acclaimed shows that even movies and OVAs?
I would say the most critically acclaimed movie of this year, of course, other than Eva 3.0,
probably
the sleeper hit is Garden of Words.
But the thing about Makoto Shinkai is that I haven't seen Garden of Words, but his movies look better than they play out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they are very much about the animation and the style, and less about the actual substance of the movie itself.
But guys, he makes shoes in this one.
5 wallpapers per second was it was
beautiful show.
Beautiful
Well, movie.
Yeah, it was 5 wallpapers per second. Man. That's why we call it that.
Beautiful show, but it lacked in quite a lot. I found when it comes to the story and characters.
What did you think of Voice of a Distant Star?
I would tell you if I didn't fall asleep when I tried to
Oh.
watch it.
It's a pretty good sedative, I guess you could say that.
His movies are so easy to fall asleep to because it's just got this like.
They are.
It's got this. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
But it's very.
Yes,
I wouldn't
very.
say slow, but it's just. Oh, what's the right word? Calming. Just. I don't know.
I could see that.
I don't
I
know
mean-
about you, but when like I'm looking to watch a movie, I'm looking
It's
for a
like the place
cinematic
promised in our
feel,
early days, man.
not like a atmospheric feel.
Well, what's interesting about Makoto Shinkai is that, he's one of the few film directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've Momura Hosoda, you've Akio Kishimbo. Just kidding. I mean, like, aside from him, right? That's what I'm trying to make a point of, like, aside from Momura Hosoda, and of course the since passed Satoshi Kon,
And the now retired, in air quotes,
and the now
Miyazaki.
retired
Yeah.
Miyazaki. What? There is no like film names in anime. I put that in quotes. Because I mean, like we've said before, and this has been a PodTaku thing. I'm sure of just the lack of film in anime. It's pretty interesting actually how for a graphic medium so based upon visual storytelling that was derivative of film, how little film anime actually produces.
Which
Yeah.
is funny because I feel
It's
like
pretty amazing.
over here in the West, that's what people know anime most as.
Yes, TV shows don't even like exist in the West. But yeah, like you were saying too, anime is so known as films in the West. Like, cause yeah, you're absolutely right because with stuff like all the Miyazaki films and everything, it's so known as film.
It's funny because when if there's a good show in anime, right, you credit that to the director, okay, the director of that.
yes.
Okay, so over in the US, something like Breaking Bad, critically acclaimed by pretty much everyone. Well, who does the credit go to for that? The writers.
The writers.
It's weird how credit goes to different people when it comes to the West and the East. When it comes to TV series,
agree.
because it's in here, it is all about the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
But over in the anime world, there are very few movies, so I think more focus goes to the TV series and who directs the TV series.
Yeah, and also one other thing with movies and anime is that I find that most of the movies come out, they're just retreads of existing shows. So like Hana, for example, the Madoka films. The first 2 films are literally the show done over again.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Endless 8 meets Madoka.
Basically, the third movie's different. I haven't seen it yet because my earliest time to see it is
Rebellion.
tomorrow.
Very mixed, as we've said
But
before.
I'll have seen it by the time people are actually listening to this. But unless I don't go, which is a possibility. But what's the other thing I was gonna fucking say? There are some movies that kind of change this, like the rebuild movies for Evangelion. The first one, not fucking worth watching. But 2.0 though is different.
Yes.
Very.
But
shout
there are
out
a lot
to
of
Averbridged.
Yeah, shout out to Averbridge. And but there are, like, you notice that there are a lot of movies that all they are is just the shows over again. It's like, oh, there's going to be a new movie out.
guy who plays
And what's
Shigeru,
the new
man.
movie of? Well, it's just an alternate retelling.
I can say something that would just make everyone go mental, which was, hey, have you guys seen Steins Gate Deja Vu?
No.
We haven't. I'm waiting for good subs for that.
We will talk about that later.
I'm sure we will talk about that.
Just say.
Uh,
I can guarantee obligatory Steins Gate reference. Insert.
We've already thought of the title for that podcast where we discussed.
Yeah.
Obligatory Steins Gate reference.
Obligatory Steins Gate reference. It's amazing. But I think another thing that actually is due to this is it's not even just related to films. It's just as a medium and a community, right? We're very dependent on source material, manga to be specific, and
Right.
light novels, right? It's amazing how much manga gets produced each year. It is
Oh,
unbelievable.
yes. And I completely know where you're going with this, Holden.
We can see it.
It is absolutely insane. And for instance, recently I caught up with Kangoku Gakuen, which is prison school, and
Holden.
I just actually got my first
Holden,
chapter
Holden,
since I caught up
Holden,
today.
Holden,
I
Holden.
read it, right?
Prison schools?
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking amazing.
Oh, you read it? Dude, isn't it fucking awesome?
No joke. It's
Dude, I'm
it's
so
like,
glad you read it.
The thing about prison schools, it's basically like the Golden Boy
So
of
good.
manga is the way I see it.
No, do you know what it is, dude? It's Golden Boy meets Death Note, right? It's like if it was made into an anime, one, it'd have to be directed by Tetsuro Araki. Because, one, Tetsuro Araki knows fan service, as is High School of the Dead.
Yeah.
And he knows really serious shit like Death Note, which is exactly what this is like. Because you know those moments where it's really, really fucking serious?
Yeah, but that's the funniest moments when it
But
is.
those are the best moments.
So do you
I
want to
take a chip and eat it.
No, that pretty much happens. It's, guys.
Yeah.
it's literally like, guys, I have to take a fart. I'm taking the hit, man. I'm gonna shit my pants right now. And you just shit your pants in class. It's fucking amazing, Gar, isn't it?
It is amazing.
I'm glad you took my recommendation on that one.
Sorry.
I'm really glad you took my recommendation on that one, mate.
Yeah, no. Okay, so give a synopsis of prison school. Prison school. It's basically about this group of is it 4 or 5 guys? I think it's five. It's 5 guys, and they are basically like the lowest of the lows, basically. And
they go to an all-girls school, they get caught doing things, and then they're thrown in, instead of being expelled, they're thrown to a prison in the school for them. And it's their endeavors to escape and undo stuff, and it's fucking awesome, and you should read it.
And it's got tits and
it's
tits.
Dude, the art, man. Holy shit. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Oh, but no, Gar, what's really interesting, okay, and the reason I brought that up originally, right, I caught up to it like last week, right?
Okay.
And that's when I was going fantastic fucking crazy over it. I was like, everyone needs to read this. I made digital versions, I scanned it, I translated it. Here you guys go. I'm gonna let you read this. I made little PDFs, put them in iTunes. Everybody fucking read this. This is what everyone on the PodTaku side and J-Taku side was like, everybody needs to get their fucking hands on this. I'm making it as accessible as possible. I bought this shit. You guys need to read it.
Yeah.
And so, what happened, right, was I caught up today with it, up to all the way to volume 9, okay, Gar, right?
Okay.
I read all the way up to volume 9 to the very end of it.
Okay.
I just recently got my hands on volume 10, right?
Right.
And so I read the chapter from that, right? Just the very beginning of it, right?
Okay.
Because I was comparing my translations to the scans, right? And fucking dude, it was like the first time I've read it in like a week. Okay. And it was unbelievable coming back to it. It's what's really interesting, right? I think that we can relate this to a lot of things, right? Coming back to a manga, especially after a week, reading a manga weekly, is really weird. It's this whole psychological game.
Reading manga weekly. Oh my god, it's
Why?
It's painful.
It occurs, but you don't. It occurs, and it's like you don't even realize it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to read.
Yeah, because the thing about manga is that you consume it so quickly, and the reason I say this is because me and Holden had this realization earlier.
And
wait.
And when you read manga weekly, you just read chapters too. You don't read like full volumes. Because like if I went to a bookstore and I bought a volume of manga, I could read that thing in less than 20 minutes. No sweat, no problem.
Sure.
So a chapter I would get through in like 2 minutes.
No, that's what we're about to say.
Yeah.
Is that's exactly what that is. But me and Garant only just recently realized
how much
manga we consume.
Yeah, how much manga I consume, because Holden has always been a big manga guy. If you
that's how I started,
want to believe me, go check out his earlier videos on
check out some really videos.
On his beginning of his YouTube life, where he talks about manga, and you can see his manga collection in his background. But I
might have to unprivate
that. My little Holden can't be this cute. But
yeah, okay, we find that.
But I only recently realized how much manga I consumed. Because I don't, unlike manga where I put everything on Hummingbird or my anime list or something. I don't collate my manga into a list of what I've read. And then Holden tried to figure out how much I'd read. And it was a ridiculous amount.
It was based off of his really out-of-date Mal account. It was already like 350 plus volumes. And that was just like his like completed. That was excluding all currently reading.
Right.
And so the thing was, Garrett, is I know you're up to date with almost everything. And we didn't even factor that in.
Yeah.
How much stuff do you read weekly?
I don't read it weekly. Going back to marathon, I marathon manga. I'd go in these huge manga binges where I just read.
Shout out to Liar Game.
Liar Game's amazing. Where I just read volumes upon volumes upon volumes. And you don't notice it because I finish entire series within days compared to anime where you gotta wait at least a week to watch a series. That's the pace that I go at. Unless like
do you know what I compare it to, man? Though
what?
It's comparable recently to the Berserk films. I feel like whenever a Berserk film came out is whenever I would explode on a certain series and just read copious amounts of it, like that whole like years increment up until that point.
It's funny you mentioned Berserk because I literally just watched Berserk movie 3 today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it, mate?
Okay, so Tristan, have you watched the Berserk movie series at all?
Not at all, no.
Okay.
I have not seen any Berserk beyond
seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
Well, that's surprising.
It's just like I haven't found like the reason to go out of my way to watch it.
Okay, I will say, okay, Tristan,
sense?
watch it, okay? Because the Eclipse is done so much better in the movies.
The third film, right?
The third film, yeah. Because the thing about Berserk films, now I've finished the trilogy, it gets progressively better as it goes along. The first movie was complete shite.
Kind of bad.
Yeah, very, very disappointing. Second movie, it was good. Still had problems. It was good. Third movie though, it really it uses its 18 plus rating to the maximum. And the thing about the third films, there's this one scene where Guts cuts off his arm. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you might have seen this, Holden.
Pretty visceral shit.
Yeah, and it's visceral. And the thing about we've talked about how horror doesn't usually scare me in anime or really creep me out, but that one scene where he cuts off his arm, it's so well done. It's like it's the first time I've ever cringed at horror in anime, because you see gore in anime and it's just not scary at all.
No, it's not. I mean, do you know what I think it's interesting though?
What?
I do think that horror is done better in manga, it feels like at times.
I do agree with that.
Only because it's they can control the pace really well.
Right.
Even though it's weird because, mangakas, they can't force you to turn the page at like certain beats, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's all up to you. But it also comes down to just like the depiction and the art. Because the art is a huge thing, right?
Well, okay.
It's interesting because the Berserk source material is also really well done, but it's studio. Was it 4 Degrees C that did?
Yes, it was 4 Degrees. To bring this,
stepped it up for the third film.
Yeah, to bring this to Tristan and Jeanne, have you ever been grossed out or anything like that during a horror anime or a gory scene in anime?
Not anime, no.
No, but
No.
I will say sometimes there's moments where I will be.
I think the closest that I've come is that one scene in Another.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Oh,
I think I even know the scene.
when they're
That's
like
the closest.
bubbling.
Yeah, the melting. Was it the melting thing?
Yeah,
What?
the rip off of
Fucking-
Indiana Jones.
Oh my,
yeah, that thing.
Was
That was
brilliant.
the closest, but even then I was just kind of like, wait, what's going on?
I feel like nothing can ever be graphic enough.
No, I think it can. It just needs to be done very, very personally. Is what it needs to be done. I think
that's the thing. Yeah. I feel that way
It's-
too. It has
the
to
whole
have
thing-
a like more of a reason behind it. Like, yeah, okay, someone like bubbling up. Yeah, it's kind of gross, but it's not relatable, I guess you could say.
Another scene that springs to mind, okay, since I know we've all seen it. Kara no Kyokai, movie 5, Paradox Spiral.
Right.
There's this one, when they continually
rot.
repeat the death.
the rot.
And the
rot.
rotting.
Yes.
Like, the rotting corpses in that look fucking gross.
amazing.
There are two
They
scenes.
look
The rotting
gross.
corpse, and when the mother takes the knife, puts it to her neck, and
Yeah, it cuts it.
just like sinks it in. And you see,
Yeah.
there's a close up to the skin.
The skin.
And you just see it sink in. And
coils.
there's no blood, but even though there's no blood, you still like kind of curl up a bit when you see that. I don't know if that was just me. So
No. It's to relate it to a similar scene, right? I'm gonna bring it all back in a second. But in End of Eva, right? The whole disemboweling, the evisceration of the unit, right?
right.
It was interesting because it's a really interesting idea. 2.0, I think they did it better, to be honest.
Right.
But to relate it back to Paradox Spiral, the opening scenes, whenever they have him and he's just holding the intestines, I loved it.
Yeah, that's
It was-
that's the thing with me. I still say, like, even though something can be graphic, it doesn't really get me as disturbing. I guess because just that personal factor is not there.
It's because the thing is, one, they didn't do it slow enough. I think it all comes down to speed. I think it comes down to speed and detail. If it's really because the thing about gore in anime, right, as I think we all know, it's few and far between. It's
Yes.
a moment always, It's like Elfen Lied is gory, right? At moments,
Yeah.
And Higurashi even more so. It's like it's gory at like nanoseconds. Like there's scenes where it's gory, but it's never like always. It's never a reoccurring factor like that's always there in like every other fucking scene.
Is Higurashi actually scary?
No.
It's
not
just fun.
scary,
It's a
no.
mystery. It's a mystery.
Because it's just
Yeah.
like
Mystery.
Attack of the Killer Lollies.
It's more interesting and fascinating than it is scary.
Because I was about to say, the one thing that really put me off Higurashi was actually the character designs.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't get into the atmosphere when the characters look like they should be running around in high school.
Well, that's the thing. That's
doing
why I
fuck
don't think
all.
it's scary, because like in Higurashi, the second one of them laughs, and you know the laugh. It's the Higurashi
course.
laugh. The faces that they make ruin any sort of semblance of horror or scariness that it has, because it's just
Yep.
hilarious.
Yep.
You might get a little weirded out.
We've
but
all
it's
seen
not
the
because
gifs.
of what you're seeing or
Yeah, I
what
was
you're
gonna say,
hearing.
We've seen the gifs.
The closest thing that you can get weirded out to with Higurashi is possibly looking at a situation that happens with like some of the torture scenes and being like, and like a part of you feels like or imagines what it would feel like to have that done to you.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's like the closest you could get with Higurashi and like feeling slightly uncomfortable.
That's like the personal thing I was talking about. Like, for example, going back to Elfen Lied, one moment that I was really disturbed with was there was the scene where the kids took whatever the little girl's puppy and literally killed it, tortured it, beat it to death. The horror I felt in that moment, being so terrified of ever witnessing that in real life, was completely disturbing to me.
I think, but
For them to even think of that and put it in a film also disturbs me. Like, just thinking about it.
Oh my
upsets
god,
me.
you just might, because that brings on a really interesting topic, because it's like it's not actually the gore that they show, it's
Yeah.
more of the idea.
Yeah.
It's
of
the
it.
idea, and
Yeah.
like a really good example of that is in Ghost in the Shell.
Fuck
Stanley
you, Holden.
Kubrick's.
Fuck you. I hate you.
You
You have not even
they
seen
ha-
Ghost in the
Oh,
Shell.
God.
Fuck you, man.
I fucking have, man. And there was the scene. There's the killer, right? He's a serial killer, by the way. And what he does is he targets people with augmentations, and is able to make the augmentations take their visual cortex and put it on them. So what he does, this is pretty fucking weird. He takes people and lets them see what he sees from his point of view while he skins them alive.
Yeah.
So he's showing them what they look like while he's killing them from his perspective.
Tristan, do you remember this episode?
No, I don't.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
I don't think I do.
It's one of the best episodes of the first season.
Like, no, well, I hear it. Because here's the thing. I hear it, and it sounds sort of familiar, but I can't actually, like, remember it.
It's
Part
the
of
one...
me sounds like, I remember that, but then I can't actually remember what it looks like, if that makes sense.
It was one of the best episodes in the first season, I thought. Because the thing is, like, the thing I love about that episode is, like, they never show you anything, okay? But there's one scene where you see, like, I think you see Bato and a few other guys watching, you see them watching a video of this transpiring, right? And you don't see anything, but you hear it, and you can see, like, the reactions of the people watching it, and you're just shocked, because you see one of them, like, just runs out and throws up after just hearing what the horror that this woman's going through as she's being skinned alive, while watching herself being skinned alive. And it's just like, the idea of it just freaks me out so much. Yeah. And I can't believe you don't remember that episode, because that's one of my favorite episodes from the first season of Ghost in the Shell, actually. It's the thing about these kinds of horrors is that
I guess I need to watch Gantz. No, just kidding.
No Gantz.
Don't want to watch Gantz. Wait, didn't you say Ghost in the Shell? My bad.
Ghost in the Shell.
No.
Fail.
Gantz also has gore as well.
Gantz has gore. It definitely has gore. It sells itself on that guy.
It's just not very scary.
That was blood, sex, and boobs, man.
Sex, and boobs.
That was Gantz.
Everything Holden Bremley needed when he was a teenager.
Of course. I think that's what every teenage boy needs when they're a teenager.
I can't believe I mixed those two together.
I liked some things in Gantz. Like, I liked the scene whenever she's about to slit her wrist, Kishimoto in the bathtub, and it's the idea of just bringing a razor to your wrist and just sliding it across. It was just, and it shows, like, this arterial spreading.
Why are we talking about, like, death and scary things when we should be talking about happy thoughts?
It's a happy horror days. You guys don't understand.
The horror days.
Horror days. Horror days.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's like, I think if we're gonna be all, like, happy and jolly, and we're talking about fucking blood and death and suicide and being skinned alive and killing puppies when we should be getting puppies with little bows on their necks for Christmas.
I hate Christmas. Why the fuck we do a Christmas episode, guys? I hate it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Screw Christmas.
Yeah. Forget it all.
Darn to the Grinch.
And now I understand why Holden introduced you as the Grinch.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is all a part of the plan, just as planned, I would say.
Okay, to bring the mood of this podcast up then, Jeanne, okay, away from death and destruction, what are your favorite anime that you have seen this year?
And vengeance.
Doesn't have to come out this year, but what were your favorite, just your favorite show that you've seen this year?
Yes. Besides the fact that I did enjoy Attack on Titan a lot, I would have to say that probably one of my favorite animes watching this year was Aku no Hana. Strangely enough, just because it is so unique and so different from anything out there in the anime industry, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know how much I want to elaborate on this, but I just feel like I watched Aku no Hana came to me at the perfect time. It started airing, and I started watching it when I needed it to. It was the perfect pace for me. It had the perfect atmosphere for me. And it also makes me feel bad because I disliked Another, but to be honest, if Another aired at this time instead of Aku no Hana, I might feel differently about Another, but it's just the fact that it has the same atmosphere and it has the same feel that Another had, which makes me upset when people are really turned off by the animation, because one, I know everybody knows that I've been turned off from watching older shows because of the animation.
Yeah, you're being a hypocrite.
Exactly, and then here I am enjoying a rotoscoped show that is rotoscoped pretty badly.
Looks like crap.
Which I admit.
And speaking of the Jeanne,
good rotoscope, and then there's bad rotoscoping.
Right.
Speaking of the Jeanne hypocrite who always likes to bash fan service, and then here she is enjoying the fuck out of Free. going.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these guys.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I have to say that this year, you know what? I've just come to a realization. Like, you guys gotta remember that I started watching anime in September of 2010. So it's really been a little over 3 years for me. And now I'm starting to see that my views are changing. And it's because I didn't know any better because I wasn't exposed to enough anime. So yeah, I would criticize shows for having fan service. And here I am enjoying it myself. And sure, I guess you can call me hypocrite, but at the same time, like,
you're a hypocrite, Jeanne.
Yeah, I'm just coming.
You are,
I feel like I'm growing up, guys.
You're growing up.
I just feel like I'm really.
It's about time,
Yeah.
miss.
I'm definitely becoming a anime watcher, and now I know all the tropes and most of that. I think, at least, I would say that so far. One thing I haven't got is the nostalgia effect yet.
Because you don't rewatch shit. We've went over this.
Oh,
no,
that's 'cause
but
you don't rewatch
I know we
things.
talked about this, guys, when we had
You can't
PodTaku
have
Live.
nostalgia unless you rewatch it.
No. It was like, I don't know if you remember PodTaku Live, where we were talking about that. If you've watched any shows or moments that just brought you nostalgia, and I never had that, and it's because
you've only been watching anime for like how long?
Exactly. I still haven't had that yet, but I'm really looking forward to having that because I feel like once I have that moment, that I'm really gonna be like in with you guys.
I have no idea what the fuck you were talking about. So if you could explain to me what the fuck you're
so
talking
Holden,
about.
if you
Please
remember,
elaborate.
if you
I was
remember,
like, what kind of nostalgia boner shit are you talking about?
if you remember, we all were in this thing together called PodTaku Live.
Yes, I was there.
It was August 4th. All right, it was around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a great time, and one of the questions were if we have any moments or any anime that brought back nostalgia for us in any way, shape, or form. And
relating real life events to an anime. That's
what?
Okay, I haven't had that.
Nostalgia is what we were talking about with that was because Garn probably said Beck. If I had to guess,
I really
said Beck,
I forget
because he's like, I used to be in a band, lads, and he's
And
like,
Holden probably said Eureka 7.
because I was like, I used to be a surfer, man, and we all say different shows,
Dude.
because there's a
Dude.
No, I think what it is, Garn. I think what we would have said, right? I think you would have said, Summer Wars. I think that's what first off.
Probably.
I think you would have said.
Because we know each other too well now.
Yeah, we do know each other way too well at this point. Yeah. And I know what your past self probably said then.
Yeah.
But no guarantees. But I'm saying, like, right now, according to what we think you're talking about, Jeanne, it's simply drawing conclusions or drawing similarities between anime and your real life. And what's interesting is that I don't think you realize it, but you have had this before. You were recently talking to me about how you had this incident with a man falling on you, one of your coworkers, and doing things, and you're like, this is just out of an anime. Do you remember this?
Did you say falling on her and doing things?
Yeah.
As in he groped her on accident. And
so it's just like a scene from Love Hina, but
yeah. And Jeanne was thinking to herself, like, this is fucking
No.
ridiculous.
No.
Do you not remember this?
No, that's not what happened. All right. Okay, this is what I said. This was.
We should probably clear this up because I was pretty sure you were sexually harassed at work, and I was like, you should be filing for this.
No, that wasn't nostalgia. What I was thinking was, if you've had a moment in real life and it made you think about a moment in anime, that's what I was talking about, not nostalgia.
You say nostalgia, and I don't think you understand what nostalgia is.
No, I do know what nostalgia is.
What is nostalgia, Jeanne?
Like, nostalgia is, for me, this is what I would want to feel, is after watching a show or watching a specific moment, I just feel like, oh my god, I resonate with this so much. Like, this is me, and
that's not nostalgia.
That's not nostalgia.
Nostalgia is like,
it brings
for
me back
nostalgia.
to. It brings me back to like who I was, or
okay, who I
was in
agree
the past. Yeah,
that's slightly different, but still, that's you're using anime as a catalyst to invoke nostalgia, is what it sounds like. Are you agreeing with me?
No, I'm just
Yes,
saying
yes,
that
I
I
am.
never. What I'm saying is, all of you guys have said that you've had this moment, and I have not had this moment.
How
When did
close
we
were
say
you
this?
to the
You
mic?
said it. It was a
when you
fucking
did this?
question in PodTaku Live.
No, but
what
do you
the
know what we
fuck?
said? Do you know what we said? Because that might clear things up.
Just listen, audience. If you guys can just go back to PodTaku Live and watch that moment, like
You
we all can
crazy
just go and watch
motherfuckers.
it right
Oh,
now.
Crazy,
God.
crazy.
Who cares?
motherfucker.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Go back to PodTaku Live and try and sift through the entire thing for that one moment she's
For that
talking.
moment, and we might care.
Do you know what's bad? There's this poor sod who's sitting at a computer now going,
Oh yeah, and he's like, oh,
Challenge.
fucking Jeanne needs,
no,
Jeanne
I was like,
needs help. Yeah,
no. It's like, he's just sitting there going, challenge accepted. And
I'm
just because we said that, some poor sod's gonna do that now.
You know what's gonna happen? They're actually gonna go. We're gonna wait. This podcast is gonna go up. We might have to wait, maybe a day or so,
Okay.
and then there will be a comment that
no.
says "challenge accepted."
It happens.
Shout
links
out
to the
I
thing.
know
Shout
it
out to the guy
happens.
who put a
Who fucking
timestamp on
watched who
every.
timestamped everything. Because that guy, actually, if you could do that again, because I don't think we timestamped our newest one.
Who timestamped
Oh,
when we
was
talked about the
brilliant.
seasonal shows? They timestamped
that
when they switched
Oh my God.
topics to every show. Kudos to that guy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Kudos
Thank you.
to
Yeah.
that guy, and kudos to all of you subscribers.
Yeah, really.
That,
All of our like fucking loyal listeners who
Yeah.
tune in.
Also,
whenever they
shout
do.
out to Jeanne not being heard because she's like walked away from her mic or something.
What?
Yeah, but I think shout out to our fans because I think
Definitely.
this has been another amazing year. I gotta say
Yes.
for PodTaku, we've done a lot. We've done a lot in this year.
We've done so much. We've brought forth the fruition of J-Taku. We've expanded
Yes.
our fucking we ourselves have become much closer as friends even.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing actually.
It's
Because it feels like much, like we talked about originally, feels like much longer
it
than a
has.
year. You know, it feels like
And-
I've known you guys for much longer than a year. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like
I guess I want to say one thing, or sort of make a confession, and it was when we started talking about making J-Taku or forming J-Taku, I was really nervous on that
Of
Yeah.
course.
idea.
Tristan was as well.
Yeah.
I think Tristan would be as well.
This was me and
Right.
Garnt being like, we can totally fucking pull
So-
this off.
Yeah.
So when
We could make
Garnt
this
and
work.
Holden first told me about it, I was very nervous about the fact because they started talking about it like a week or two after we did PodTaku Live, where I feel like that moment after PodTaku Live, all of us really just had this realization that like we're all important in PodTaku.
Yeah.
I feel like that
four of us, the A
It
team.
was,
yeah.
it was PodTaku. It was the moment whenever we realized how without one of us, the puzzle collapses.
Yeah.
It becomes unstable.
So we definitely all
I
felt that
understand the
after
fear.
PodTaku Live. And I feel like that moment sort of stuck with me for a while, and we were all kind of just like starstruck over the live scene, I think,
It
after
was
that happened.
unbelievable.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
It was
pretty
really
starstruck.
unbelievable.
For a couple days, we were all just high on how
We were
happy
just
we
like,
were.
we
That-
fucking
Yeah.
crashed Justin TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good times.
We were all
Good
really
times, man.
ecstatic
Good
about
times.
it. And
Yeah.
after that, a week later, then Gart and Holden start talking about J-Taku.
Yeah, here's Garnt
And
Holden
at
fucking
first,
up everything.
I was sort of like, it brought down my high because first I'm like, wow, like
We're trying to replace
it's the
each other,
four
we
of
thought.
us. Yeah, I'm like, it's just us
It's the
four.
four of
Like
us.
we're
Yeah.
great, and I
It's
don't
like-
want that to change. So
Yeah.
I was really nervous at first, and after going through J-Taku and meeting all of them and actually doing J-Taku, I'm so happy that we did it.
Guys in J-Taku, you better be listening to this.
Yeah,
we're not going to tell
seriously.
you that we're talking about this in our Skype chat.
So you better
if you do
fucking
not,
listen.
you better fucking listen to this.
Because Jeanne, here's what happened. Okay, here's the behind the scenes story. Right,
Okay.
me and Garnt were trying to figure out what would push PodTaku even more. Like, what
Yeah.
else could we do to expand, and create
'Cause-
more content, basically.
Yeah, we
And so
wanted PodTaku to
I
evolve.
made I made a list. Okay, I made a list. It's the anime hierarchy, and I made a list of basically.
We made
everyone
the
we could
list.
think- I made a list of basically everyone. No, it was just me, Gar, and you were just sitting there at the sidelines watching me, and then you're like, "Fuck Elvin, I'll
fuck
come
you,
and help."
Holden. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
like,
You
fuck
start. You made.
You guys
made
haven't
10 people-
updated that thing in like a while.
We will, but
Right.
Gar, you fucking know it was my idea, and I fucking started it, and then you came and helped. I'm fucking. Our names are both on it. It doesn't matter. It was my idea though. But after making that was basically a trial to find everyone and basically prove that we knew everyone, and so we try to invite people that we wanted in it, and so we hand selected the cast that we have now.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still proud of them. I'm glad that I picked everyone I did.
Right.
And-
But that's the thing. You say you wanted PodTaku to evolve, and that scared me because I didn't want that at
It's- yeah.
first. But
yeah, exactly.
I've noticed now.
It's a scary change.
Yeah.
I believe.
It's
I
a
can agree
scary
with that.
change.
Change is always scary, but sometimes you just gotta
Do
go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
really
what
happy
were you
that
saying,
we
Jeanne?
did because I just
I
feel
mean-
like we've just gotten stronger being
We've just gotten
PodTaku as
strong.
we are, and I just
And I
feel,
feel
like
like-
J-Taku's like they're like our
I feel like
children.
I feel like we have a family now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
We have
Definitely we do.
this the Taku family.
Yeah.
And guys, shout out to everyone in J-Taku.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
you're
Love all you guys.
Indeed.
I don't regret picking a single one of you guys.
You're all fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And,
You're all fucking amazing.
We are, the A team. We'll always be the A team, but we're happy that
J-Taku.
we
Dun,
had.
dun,
really
dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
As good
Alright,
as
and that's
the
copyright.
team will always be, I still have no regrets about assembling the J-Taku team.
Yes.
Yeah.
And J-Taku has been, I think, the biggest step and the biggest change this year.
That was a huge change. That and thumbnails, man. Those are the two biggest changes we had.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That-
can't believe it took us this long to go. You know what we should do? Make custom thumbnails. That's probably better than.
I can't believe we neglected that fact for fucking ages. I think
Ever.
it's because before we integrated the speaking light thing, we had the fucking nothing. So we were like, this is the thumbnail. Like they're going to stare at the thumbnail, and that's kind of made sense actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah, I can't believe that we were just like, yeah, we're just gonna look at us in 360p for like an hour. That's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
This is our podcast.
Dark days.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
not
were
really, but it
dark
was
ages.
early days. I would say early days.
We've learned a lot since then. I think we all have. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
do you guys want to give any final messages to wrap up this year to each other or whatever?
I love you all. You guys are great, except Eugene.
Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. I think that sums up
No,
this entire year for
I take
Tristan.
it back. I love Eugene for about 30 seconds.
Do you know what's funny? I think this rivalry
Tristan,
between
I
you...
helped your fucking 100,000 subscriber live stream. Show some appreciation.
You showed up in like the last half hour.
Oh
So
my
no,
God.
it was like the last
Why are we
hour.
arguing about this dumb shit?
Fuck, we're going on to this again. What the fuck? Guys, we're supposed to be happy.
I know,
guys.
I'm
This is
happy.
sentimental. It's sentimental.
Tristan,
Fuck
I
you
would, I, would like
guys.
to I would like to personally thank you, Tristan, for just putting up with all of the shit that I give
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
And I would do, seriously, thank you, Tristan, for all the behind the scenes stuff you fucking do for this channel
Yeah.
to make it
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Tristan, like,
And thank you for bringing us all together.
You were very welcome.
to my okay. So
This is
here,
to us.
shall I start off to Tristan?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing us together, man. You are the dude who fucking started this, man. You started this.
I did.
This amazing thing.
I did.
And like, you are the one who gets
yeah.
the PodTaku gears going. When I came to you with J-Taku, me and Holden came up with the idea, but the person who really, really got it running in the first place, got the theme tune, did all the designs, was fucking you, man.
Yeah,
And, for you, I fucking thank you so much. You're awesome, man. You get everyone going.
fucking love you,
and
man.
going.
You're amazing.
Fuck
Yeah.
all of you guys. No, seriously, you guys are awesome.
You all suck.
You guys are all equally as
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Jeanne, like...
I appreciate
Oh.
you sticking with us.
Jeanne,
you for
where
not
do
quitting.
I start?
Yeah,
Where
thanks
do
for
I
not quitting a
start
couple
with you?
times. Yeah,
I
where
mean,
do we talk
Jeanne.
about Jeanne?
Oh, Jeanne. We're going to talk about Jeanne here.
We've been through so much together.
We have been through so much.
Yeah.
Ever since we started, because out of the three here, you were the first person I knew out of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You were the first person who ever talked to me on Skype. And I still remember some of the first conversations we had where you got drunk over Guilty Crown.
Right.
And because you were depressed about the ending and you wanted to talk to me about it. And yeah, Jeanne, to me, you're like, even though you're older than me, you're kind of like a younger sister in some ways, and sometimes an older sister, depending on the mood.
Yeah.
Because as much as I think you're fucking stupid, retarded, especially when it comes to technology, as much as you fail and you can't do shit, without you in this podcast, it would be a lot darker. You bring the light to this podcast, and you just bring the tone up every time you're in this podcast.
It's great.
Holden.
Seriously, I think we can agree that without Jeanne, this podcast
Without
would not
Jeanne-
be what it is.
Yeah,
It
without
means a
you,
lot.
as
I think-
you guys who always call out for the for us to fire
Stop
Jeanne.
bullying.
Fuck you guys. Stop
Yeah.
bullying Jeanne, guys.
Fuck you.
She's
We
an
all
integral
bully each
part of
other
this podcast.
equally.
We fucking love
We
her
know-
to bits.
We know Jeanne's a lot. You guys
yeah.
don't think Jeanne's as strong as she really is, but she's
Yeah.
much stronger than you could ever imagine. That's for
she's
sure.
much stronger than you, and she's an integral part of this podcast.
No, and
we-
just as that, Garnt,
Yeah.
fucking you, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the fact that whenever we all rose to the occasion, you were by far, the star that really came with us. That we were like all fucking, God knows I was when I fucking first met you, man. The fucking starstruck feeling that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the more that I got to know you, man, and the more that we knew each other, the more that we realized we are the fucking same, man. Me and Garn are seriously fucking
Holden,
brothers, man.
my brother from another mother that I've never
and
even
Garn.
met.
Have never met, but I've known him longer than I ever could imagine. It's absolutely insane. And I'm really thankful I met you as well. It's absolutely amazing.
It's Holden, mate. You're like possibly the best mate that I've never had. But
This is
that
like
was
too cute right now.
Fuck you, Jeanne. Fuck you, Jeanne.
This is too fucking kawaii.
Kawaii desu.
Holden, my man.
Yeah.
I think especially in this year, is when we realized how much our lives were similar.
Yeah.
And how similar we were as people. And
I
dude,
think that this is when we realized, man, it was fate that brought us together, and it was friendship that kept us together.
yeah.
It's absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
And for everyone listening, we love you guys as well.
We love you
Yeah.
guys. The fans, the PodTaku
This
has
wouldn't
grown.
be possible without the fans.
Without you guys listening to us talk about shit.
You guys would not believe, even though you guys, tell me sometimes Holden's gay, show us your butt, and you need to stop bullying Jimmy. Fuck you. Still love you. It's all right.
We love you all.
It's
Yeah.
it's
And
it's
I
it's what keeps us going.
I would go through each and every one of the J-Taku members right now, but I don't think we'll have time for that.
I don't think we have
No.
time.
No,
So let's
As
do a
much-
unfortunately
blanket
not.
thank you to everyone, the J-Taku cast as well, who's
Yes.
stuck
And
with us in all our insanity.
Start with us with only it's been only 3 months. J-Taku is still
3
very
months.
young.
They're
I'm
still
sure
babies.
it's gonna become- they're still babies. They still have to grow.
But
And,
just as the leaves on the trees, we soon will blossom. That's all it is.
And with that said, I think we should wrap up this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Very tearful.
I'm glad you guys have. We can still remember
I love all you
the last year that we did this in the Christmas special.
Yeah.
No, we
I
definitely
hope
can.
we are glad that you guys have stuck with us for this year. I mean, I remember saying this last year. We hope you stick around for another year
Yeah.
with us in 2014, and I hope
Holy
we will
shit,
still be
yeah.
together.
I really hope that 2014 will be a better year with watching anime, with anime coming out, and with PodTaku and J-Taku
And-
growing and
Oh,
bring
I
you
mean, we
guys
still
more
have-
content.
We still have the one massive thing that will happen in 2014, hopefully, that we still haven't done
I'll
yet.
show you a massive
Yeah.
thing.
My famous line.
And that's when we finally get to meet each other.
yes.
Oh my god.
Um,
Fucking mental.
Where worlds collide, I think is the term I
Everything
like the
will
best.
collide, man.
So you still have that to look forward to in 2014. But until then, I've been Gigguk from the Anime Zone, and I'll see you guys next time.
Who wants to go next?
And then Holden,
Yeah.
take it over. Do whatever you want to say.
I'm Holden from HoldenReviews. Until next time, sayonara. See you later.
Tristan?
Yeah.
I'm Tristan from Glass Reflection. Thank you for watching this year. Please continue to watch next year. And until next year, stay frosty.
And I'm Jeanne from Anime Appraisal. And until next time.
And from everyone at PodTaku.
Happy holidays.
Live long and prosper.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. And I think
I
we should
actually
end it
know
off
that
on
reference.
If you didn't, we would have an argument right here.
Just ruin it, guys! Fuck you. Hate you guys. I'm fucking out. I quit.
Shout out to ruining it.